At the end of this series, we will find out if I'm stupid.
Because you've called me stupid on occasion. So
That's right.
This is the turning of
the
wheel.
The turning of the stupid.
Tick, 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 the stupid wheel.
That's right.
Hey, Internet! It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about The Expanse, Season 4, Episodes 5 and 6, Oppressor and Displacement. Alright, so we're starting with Naomi and Lucia have just gotten aboard the Rocinante, escaping Mertry and his sharpshooting.
Yep.
We end with the flood is coming over Illis, and everyone has migrated to the bowels of the proto-molecule machine for safety. And that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
This little zone of goodness. All right, so I'll just say right off, episode 5 was heavy. There were some themes in there.
Sure.
I mean, the whole Lucia thing was like, we find out first that Lucia did indeed plant the charges that blew up the ship, killed all the people.
Yes.
Didn't intend to kill people, but did intend to blow the thing up.
Yes.
She's like, why don't we blow it up now so that they can't land?
Yes.
And her buddies are like, I think this will be good.
Yeah.
Let's just stand back and watch. She tries to activate it. They knock her out.
Yep.
And so
she desperately activates it, which is why they weren't killed, all of them.
Right.
They were just
Half
many of them killed.
Yes.
So really, Mertry owes her a thank you.
That's right. Like a half thank you.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a kind of a dark storyline here. She's living with the guilt. She's not a murderer, but she's somebody who believes in the cause and was trying to keep Earth out.
And it gave Naomi to give us a better chance understanding of her own backstory, which involves her ex, who we've seen and we will see more of.
Right, and that leads to this very emotional conversation that Naomi has with Lucia. But before that happens, we have Lucia trying to commit suicide.
Yes.
Then we have another really emotional scene of Alex trying to save her life and help me save your life. And she's like, no, I think I'd just rather die. Thank you. That's a really heavy moment.
Yep.
Like, it's really well done, and it's some weighty topics.
Yes.
Of people. How far do you push them before they decide? You know what? I'm checking out. And so Alex convinces Lucia to help her stops the bleeding from her gun wound. She was shot by Mertry, and she was kind of letting herself bleed out, essentially. She's also, at this moment, thinks that her child is dead as well. I think that also helps in the suicidal part. Because she has another very emotional conversation with her husband, who blames her, kind of justifiably so in a way. He's like, look, you did this thing, you brought this on us, now they've killed our daughter. Way to go. So just the weight of all that has drives her to suicide. So as she's recovering, there's still, Alex and Naomi probably realistically aren't sure that she's not unsuicidal yet now, so they don't really want to leave her alone. And Naomi has this conversation where she confides in her. Yeah, I understand what you're feeling, because back in the day, this Marco, who we've met already, he was her love interest. They had a kid, and they were doing stuff to help the Belters, and the thing that she thought she was designing was some software that would stall ships out, so they would need rescuing, and then they could come in, rescue, turn everything on, and then get paid for it. And so it was like piracy, but without looking like piracy. And she's like, all right, I'm good with that. Well, then he used it to basically blow up a ship, kill a whole bunch of people, and then he kept her kid from her. And she contemplated walking out of an airlock. So she contemplated suicide in that moment. And so they have this meeting of the minds. Lucia points out a good point, which is, well, in your case, you were tricked.
Yep.
You know, I wasn't tricked, really. I mean...
No, it's like, well, the plan changed while she was
yes,
there.
The plan
and
did
so
change.
she wanted to, and she would have stopped it, but she got knocked out. Now, she didn't tell Naomi that part, but we all saw it.
Yes, yes. And in that way, it is similar to Naomi where the plan changed, and
yeah.
she wasn't notified of it. It talks Lucia down from the ledge, and she is, I believe, no longer suicidal at this point. So meanwhile, you've got the factions, the Belters and Mercury's gang are at odds.
At a stalemate.
They, the Belters have taken 2 hostages.
Yep.
Which has escalated things. And so Holden goes down to the planet.
After talking to Naomi, Naomi tells him, you know, hey, you know, you're not having a lot of success. Maybe you should, you know, just tell them the truth.
Yeah.
That's all. The truth will set you free.
Which just, no, as a general, you know, mantra for life, yes. In this instance, it had 0 chance of working. Like the percentage chance of Holden telling the truth and solving this fight literally was 0%. But he tries. He goes in between the 2 groups that all have guns pointed at each other. Yep. He's like, look, guys, I can solve this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a voice in my head and it tells me this planet's really dangerous and we should move. In fact, yeah, I mean, it's telling me things and then it turns stuff on and it could be working through me. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Anyway, just trust me on this. We should all move now. Why is no one moving? So he's disappointed to learn that it didn't work.
Except on Amos.
Except on Amos. Yeah, Amos is like, hey, listen, what he says works out. A lot of times, listen to him. And it was the Belter leader who goes like, or maybe he's just, you know, an idiot with a few lucky guesses or something like that. Yep. That's exactly what I would say in that situation. There's no way I would just buy it from this guy who's like, trust me, there's a voice in my head. And
see, you'd be like, you know, floating around, getting like, "Oh, I guess he was right."
Yeah. I'd be so dead. I'd be like, "Oh, the flood took me." Okay, gosh, that guy. Who knew?
Guessed again. Guessed right again.
You know, cynical me. Well, that'll teach me. But yeah, so to the show's credit, it didn't work. Right? If it had worked, it'd be like, come on, yikes. So, you know, in fact, I would be suspecting Holden in that moment much more. If I was one of those other people, I'd be like, wait, the protomolecule's talking to you and is turning everything on, and you happen to be in the same place where all this stuff is happening. Why don't we put him in an isolated whatever? But they don't.
No, they don't do that. No.
And
it's the stalemate. You know, it's like they even after Holden told them initially that he told Mercury that there was a problem there. He was willing to leave, you know, provided the Belters leave, and the Belters like, no, they can leave, but we'll stay.
Yeah, I need to know the scale of how many planets that are available that we're talking about, because the Belters point, the leader of the Belters is like, look, there's no planet where we're going to find lithium like this. Okay, maybe not. Maybe there's not a planet with whatever the lithium deposit is. Let's say if this lithium deposit is at 100.
Yeah.
Is there a planet where the lithium deposit's at 85? And it's safer significantly than this? Maybe there's a safety concern that you could find something. I mean, if there's that many planets, you figure there's another one out there that's probably got some. Oh, you know what? It doesn't have lithium. It has gold. I don't know. Whatever. Like, just find another one. How about that? But no, they're not. We don't want to do the work on finding another planet. We found this one. We're good. Keep us here.
You should acknowledge the false lack of scarcity that these portals have. You know, it's like, of course. You know, the first one they come upon is a mining gold mine, and all the rest of them are too. Yeah, so go right ahead. Just go to another one.
No, one thing that's very interesting, and I think you tell me if we already knew this from previous seasons, but it seemed like some good exposition is in the moment where Holden is saying, "Hey, this voice in my head, it's the protomolecule talking to me." And basically, the protomolecule was setting up the rings, and it is now attempting to contact its creators. But the creators are dead, And so it's attempting to find out what happened to them by turning all this stuff on.
Yes.
I didn't necessarily know that he and everybody knew that. But it is now out there, whether it was before or not.
Right.
That information has been relayed to us. So that is what is attempting to happen on the planet, is the protomolecule that was attached to the image of Joe Miller is trying to figure out where the hell are the people I'm supposed to communicate with. And that's having a lack of success.
Yes.
We'll just stay on the planet for now. We'll cover the other non-planetary plot lines afterward.
Yeah, those are pretty easy.
So what really solves the problem happens at the end of episode 5, which is, one of those islands we talked about that was superheating exploded.
Boom.
And there's a shockwave coming, and behind that shockwave is a tsunami, and we've got hours until we all die horribly.
Yes.
So, everybody's like, all right, let's shake hands for now. And they don't shake hands. They call it truce.
Well, even then she's bargaining like, okay, well, I'll only leave if you promise. What does she want him to promise?
Right. She makes
that
promise
you would
that she'd support their returning, I think. She almost says like they want to return back to this planet.
Yes. Support their claim, I think is what how she phrases it.
Which he's willing to do because he's trying to save their lives.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He's like, okay, yes, I'll say things. But he does say, like, I'm not promising for Earth or anything. I'm just, from my standpoint, sure, if you need me to say something, I'll say something.
Yep.
Which seems like a pretty low bar. Really.
It is, but that's all you can do. It's not like,
I wrote
I'm a gorilla. Do what I say.
Also, on the other side of things, Mercury is saying, like, well, first of all, he rigs one of the ships.
Yes.
To blow up if he wants it to.
Yes.
And he also says, well, we're not going to use both ships when they have to get back to lithium.
Yes.
If they drop their lithium back, then maybe we'll talk. So he's still also bargaining with all this. You're like, come on, man. So the show does a good job here of ratcheting up, narrowing the options. It's like, hey, we have a lot of options to escape this thing. We got ships. They've got 3 ships out in orbit. And like, oh, easy. We'll just run people up to the things. Oh, wait. Nope. We don't have the ships now.
We can't use the ships that way. In fact, they have their own problem.
The ships have their own problems in that all of them have drive issues now and can't escape orbit. And I think just in a decaying
and have difficulty, maintaining orbit.
Yeah, so they eventually will crash.
Yes.
Not now, but soon.
No, yes.
So, so that's plan A. They're like, "What's plan B?" And then what was it? I think it was Amos says it like, "What is plan C?" It sounds like we all die. So they're up to plan C, which is go to the old ruins of the protomolecule ruins, and because those have been around for 1 billion years, they're pretty hardy.
Yep, sure.
So they blow a hole in part of it, and get everybody in there, and then they're trying to close up the hole so that the water doesn't come through.
Sure.
Kind of a makeshift project there, but it has to be. It's time.
Right.
Time.
Right. Sure, like, time is the essence there.
Take this billboard and we'll slap it over the front. Anyway, they get there. Holden does the thing just in time, and the water's coming, and he has to jump, and and they get through.
Yes.
There is still water coming through, but I assume it's not of such a volume that it will.
Correct.
No. Cut to the next episode. They all died. Yeah. They all drowned inside the thing. What's interesting to me, it was mystifying a little bit, was so we see at one point one of the shuttles is coming down to take them, and it evaporates.
Yes.
And they look up and they see, I think it's a moon, and the moon turns red, like it's melting. I don't know, or there's a laser. I didn't know what that was. They didn't say like, oh, exposition, that moon. The thing is happening to the moon. So I don't know what that thing was. Part of me thought at first, oh, is that a weapon? Was that, I don't know, like the protomolecule's enemy, whatever race that is, shooting something from this moon. And that's what I kind of wanted to, I was waiting for the, are they going to explain that? They didn't do that. But, so do we think, I feel like what's happening is a reaction to the protomolecule turning on. Like, in other words, I think like the ship's going, pew, is whatever race killed the protomolecule culture is killing the ships. But I could be wrong. Anyway, that's my thought. That's my throwing that out there.
I hear you.
Okay.
I mean, I have seen the next.
So you did watch ahead. Okay.
I did. However, I don't feel as if I can answer that question.
Okay. So
even if I was going to spoil it for everyone.
Okay. So in other words, they don't answer that question definitively in this season, is what you're saying.
Unless I'm really stupid.
Okay. All right.
Which is a possibility.
Oh, we're holding that out. Okay.
Yeah. So at the end of this series, we will find out if I'm stupid.
Because you've called me stupid on occasion. So
that's right.
This is the turning of the wheel.
The turning of the stupid.
Tick, 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 the stupid wheel.
That's right.
So basically at this point you have a basement filled with people who hate each other.
Yes.
All waiting out the storm. And before they go in, Murtry's talking to, I think her name is Chandra. She's the woman who's like on his guard detail, who's also has feelings for Amos.
Yes.
And he's like, all right, food's going to get scarce down there. Let's just shoot all of the belters when the time comes so that we don't have to starve. She's like, okay. Maybe we'll think about that later, but he's all in. He's like, I got this. Just we have.
Well, they've already established her as someone who's,
she has divided loyalties.
Well, but he's asked her at least once or maybe a couple of times, like, okay, I know you got this thing, but what, and she said how she owes, Murtry her life, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
How divided, you should ask yourself, is she?
Okay. I feel like she's pretty divided. I think that she's just saying the right things to Murtry because she knows if she says, hey, Murtry, no, I disagree, then he might just shoot her in the face. So better to go, yep. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then hopefully hopefully it won't come to that is basically I think her which obviously in a show like this it will come to that.
Yes.
But I think that's the game she's playing. Is if I directly contradict him to his face, problems probably will happen for me.
Okay.
Not just my career. Anyway, all right. So obviously dire times, and then also we know that on the Belter ship. Lucia's child did not die is actually on that ship.
Right.
And they have a conversation, in fact, where because the child's the dad, Lucia's husband, told the kid, "Oh yeah, by the way, your mom, she blew up a bunch of people."
Yes.
They have another difficult conversation.
Yep.
But at least the kid's alive.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like, all right, yes, you hate me or you feel shame for me, but at least you're alive.
Yay.
But now, the ship's into the decaying orbit.
Yes.
So the daughter is
more decaying. Yes.
In peril. So they have to try to figure out a way to get these ships running.
Yes.
And so there's more crises. Crises. All right. That's generally what's happening on the planet. We don't really see much of Bobby in episode 5. Episode 6, she is picking up her life of crime.
Yep.
She's the bodyguard, essentially. And so we see her at work while the guy who's
pulling off a caper.
So her boss, he comes off like now that he's intimidated her into joining. Now that he's threatened her enough that like she joins.
She can do it because of a threat.
Well, then I can make life bad for you if you don't join. Am I wrong?
So the reason why she was in trouble was because the person who initially she was confessing to decided, fuck it, you're gonna leave and you're not gonna, fine, I'm gonna turn you in. So it was that guy that she worked with that turned her in, and so he's the law enforcement, whatever. So he's not really,
Okay, all right.
So it wasn't really he was.
I thought
they were very carefully trying to keep you from feeling like this guy's another scumbag.
Yeah, because that's what they're doing. Certainly now is they've gone with he's not a scumbag. He's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Just living in the gray zone.
That's right.
Not killing people.
No.
He's just like very eminently reasonable. Doesn't get angry out of He doesn't just shoot people in the face like Mercury or something.
Yep.
So they've made him kind of look, he's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
So she's, he's making deals and she's helping him out.
Some of the best people are, pirates and, and
smugglers.
Smugglers like Han Solo, for instance.
Good call.
That smuggler with a heart of gold.
Good call. They all are. Every single one.
Yes, there you go.
They all wear vests.
Yes.
So they've got a break-in plan, a little heist. And of course the heist goes wrong. She's got a way to fix it. It requires some of her skill set, which is like getting on the suit.
Oh,
and
yes.
going like, tick, tick, tick,
Yes,
tick,
yes,
and
yes.
then the hydraulics.
Right.
She cuts the hydraulics to get into the door.
Yep.
And so she assists in the successful heist. And she's getting money. She's like, hey, I'm well off now. Look at this. And she had a little smile on her face at one point after she successfully tackles like the opposition's spy or whatever. She's like, all right, I'm getting pretty good at this.
Yep.
So it is interesting, this shift, which again I feel like is very temporary. I think there's a moment coming where her code is gonna butt heads. So far, again, she hasn't had to kill anyone, I don't think, and they tied up the guard, didn't kill the guard.
Right.
They weren't stealing weapons.
No.
So she's still in this, she has like a buffer zone of acceptable crime. And I think that's going to go boop right out of the acceptable crime at some point. In fact, I think it's going to tie into this plot we have with Ashford and Drummer, because they are discovering that Marco Polo is, they let him go, right? Last episode, they were like, okay, we've got him. The clans met. They voted, and it was Drummer had the deciding vote. She's like, if I say kill him, then the clans will be mad.
Right.
So I'll say, let him go. So they let him go, and now they have to go find him again. So they're like, like the Earth shows up, is like, who's this guy? Why isn't he dead? Okay, we'll go find him. So they're going back to try to find him again. But they learn that somehow he is communicating with Mars.
Yes.
And so perhaps that's where Bobby gets pulled into the main plot, in that somewhat this eminently reasonable smuggler that she's dealing with is also connected to some plot from the Belters to take out Earth. Anyway, so that's a theory there. So Ashford and Drummer, that's essentially their part in this was oh, we got to get Marco. They find some footage of him. They realize where he is. And they have an interest in getting Marco because they realize that Earth's patience is getting limited, and they're going to get removed from their station and stuff. If bad times are ahead if they don't have some progress. The reason they needed the progress is because it appears that Marco sent a ship basically at Earth's defenses.
Yes.
Had a little distress signal like, oh, it's children on board. You wouldn't shoot this ship down. And it forces Christian to have to make the call. Of like, all right, hopefully this isn't a ship full of kids, and blow it up. Yep. It apparently was not a ship full of kids. No. She's having her election debates. Yep. Which she has to get called away to make this call of blowing up a ship. And apparently, it looks like at the moment the people are unlikely to vote for her. Whatever the percentages are getting lower for her. Yeah, and I was quite impressed with her answer to that first question there. Like, what do you plan to do if the proto-molecule ends up being? Well, it's like, before the proto-molecule problem happened, I found the people who were responsible, and I managed to help and save everyone. I'll just do that again. Yep. I had an experience with it, and look, you're alive. Yeah. So the fact that we can have this election kind of speaks well to my ability to deal with this problem. So shut up. Any other thoughts, sir? You have seen the beginnings of their next problem on the planet in the show. I have seen the beginnings of the next problem. Oh, yes. If I'm going to guess what the next problem is, it's the eyes. They spent a lot of time on it, actually. Yeah, was it Dr. Okoye? I think she's like, what's this deal? And she scans her eye and is like, oh, I got green crap in my eyes. And there's another person who's walking around like, oh, what's your eye? It's like, it's just infection. It's just, that's all. She's got like green eyeshadow, essentially. I was like, what is that? So, yes, something is infecting all of them. Like it's a bad version of pink eye. It's green eye. Mm-hmm. Also, I feel like prediction time in that we haven't seen the last of Joe Miller, and there will be. If I had to get, like, I don't think it'll just be the proto-molecule with the face of Joe Miller gets destroyed or something like that. I feel like they'll give, because that was a character that was very popular for many seasons.
Sure.
They will probably give Joe Miller's personality some agency. Like it won't just be, you know what I mean? Like it won't just be, oh, it looks like Joe Miller, but that's not Joe Miller. Kill it. Like, it'll be, fight it, Joe Miller, fight it. Okay. That kind of thing. All so right. I think that's, if I had to guess, there'll be something where they, in fact, because Murtry has an interesting point, good point with Murtry when Holden's talking about the thing in his head.
Right.
And he says, wait, you mean it lets you know when it's turning stuff on, and can we use that against it? You know, Holden's like, I don't know. But like, So I think the answer to that is yes, you can. Okay. And your way in is Joe Miller. So I feel like that's how Holden's going to attempt to use the Joe Miller persona that is attached to the protomolecule to defeat whatever.
That's an interesting theory that I know the answer to.
Okay. All right. So see, that's my version of stupid. So one of us will be probably proven stupid by the end of season 4.
See, yeah, if that doesn't increase our viewership, I don't know what will.
Oh, by the way, one of our fans who is a big Expanse fan,
yes,
OS2 Tuxbird, I believe is your name, asked if either of us had read the books.
No.
And I theorized no.
And it was a correct theory.
So not stupid in that case.
That's another example of my stupidity.
Well, I did not read it either, so I guess we're both stupid.
I know, we're both dumbasses.
Okay, we're both dumbasses.
Yeah. That we can change now to the dumbass.
Right, Dork Lords.
Dumbass Dork Lords.
So thank you, Tuxbird, but unfortunately, no.
No.
We did not read The Expanse.
No, we didn't.
So, but we are going to be talking also about Picard. Yes. Which is going to be dropping later this week. We may get an episode up at the end of the week. Otherwise, early next week. But one way or another, in the next week, we will talk about episode 1 of the new Picard series. Yes. So thanks, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye.